Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at AnonymousRealityTV. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we are talking Jennifer Lopez, aka J.Lo, aka Jenny from the block, because her first husband is dragging her up and down and through these internet streets. But how did we get there? How did this happen? And why is this happening? Well, that is because Jennifer Lopez was on Howard Stern a couple of days ago, and she said that she doesn't believe that she's ever truly been loved and everything else. So, nonetheless, we'll just talk a little bit as to what Howard Stern asked her. So, Howard Stern had asked her specifically, do you think you've ever truly been loved? And so J.Lo, she had a pause, and then she said, no. And then she transitioned to saying yes, as then she thought as if she really experienced loving someone, and said that what she learned is not that she's not lovable, is that they're not capable, that these men that she's been involved with allegedly are not capable of loving her, right? And so nonetheless, she's been with her first husband, who was the Cuban waiter. I think they were married for a little over a year. She, of course, famously was with Puff Daddy, aka Sean Diddy Combs, for a couple of years and everything else. However, she ran quick, fast, in a hurry when that trial went down, when that GUN situation went down, right? So then, after that, remember she got with Chris Judd, who was her backup dancer. And remember, she married him, right? And then she got with Mark Anthony. Well, in between that, she got engaged with Ben Affleck. Remember that? But then that didn't go well, right? It didn't materialize and everything else. Remember Ben Affleck? I don't know how old some of y'all. He put in an ad in the paper for J.Lo, and they started dating. And remember they had that flop film. I think it was Gigi. It was called or something. But nonetheless, or G Lee, not Gigi. J.Lo. That was a disaster. But nonetheless, we had Mark Anthony. And he and J.Lo ended up getting married, and they had a couple of kids and all of this. Then she also was with another dancer / choreographer, Casper Smart. And they were together for a long time, but they never got to, the actual altar. Then, of course, she famously was with A-Rod, aka Alex Rodriguez, famous Major League Baseball player, all of the things. And things did not go well there, right? And it ended weird. They got engaged. They were going to get married and all this and all that. But no. Then, you guys, we have the reuniting of Bennifer. We have the reuniting of Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck and everything else that was 20 years in the making, and they got engaged before, never made it to the altar. This time they do make it to the altar. However, things go up in smoke, right? Because they end up eloping at first, and then the following month they have this wedding and everything else. But it didn't last. It did not last, you guys. It didn't last. It lasted barely a couple of years. So I just wanted to lay all of that out for y'all, as to why we're here. Why are we talking about this, right? So what happened was, J.Lo's first husband, and sorry if I am butchering your name, Ojani Noah, he's not happy with anything that J.Lo had to say in her interview about nobody being capable of loving her. And so he unleashed onto the internet, into the Instagrammies, and said the following. Said, stop putting us down. Stop putting me down with your victim card. The problem is not us, not me. The problem is it's you. You are the one who couldn't keep it in your pants. What? What the Beyonce? Are you saying Jennifer Lopez is a cheater, pumpkin eater? You have been, quote unquote, loved a few times. You've been married 4 times, the shade of it all, and have had countless relationships in between. The shade. You have had good relationships. Me, for example, I was in love with you. I think he meant I was in love with you. I even moved out of state. I even moved out of state, leaving my job, my family and friends behind to support you, to love you. I think he means to love you, to protect you and care for you. I'm an amazing, loving person, great human being, honest, faithful to you, never lied, never misbehaved, never cheated on you. Cheated is in all caps. I was good for you. I am too good of an MFer for you right now. No. But you chose fame and fortune moving a part of our relationship. Now, this I do agree. I do agree with this statement that who are all of the names that I listed off of? All high-profile relationships, all at one point in their careers were considered A-list in their respective careers, right? At one point in time, A-Rod was a hot commodity. At one point in time, P. Diddy was a hot commodity. At one point in time, Ben Affleck was a hot commodity, and all this and all that. And then the people that she elevated, like Casper Smart and Chris Judd and everything else. And then, of course, Mark Anthony's big time, right? So he says, but you chose fame and fortune moving a part of our relationship. You decided to lie, to cheat on me, all caps. And even though I stayed, I even tried to keep the marriage going and alive. You even begged me to stay because at the time you didn't want bad press and caring more about your career and your image instead of saving the marriage, and I stayed. But you went for the fast lane. I think he means you went for the fast lane of your career / stardom, not caring about me. You wanted to continue on cheating and lying. I couldn't stay anymore and deal with the constant lying. That is why I left you. That is why I divorced you. Tell the truth for once. Let the people know that you are the problem. You should be embarrassed and ashamed of yourself. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I was not expecting the husband number one to lay J.Lo out like that, y'all. I was not expecting all of that. I wasn't. Listen, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing that we can say for that is very truthful, right? And that is J.Lo never stays single. J.Lo never stays single and takes time to assess and, evaluate, okay, why didn't this marriage work? Why didn't this engagement work? What really went wrong? Is somebody too busy in their careers? Did we not make enough time for each other? Was there cheating involved? Was there a power imbalance? Was there insecurity that infiltrated? Was there a money issue and everything else? Because even though these are celebrities, and everybody looks rich and glamorous to us, and they send us these Forbes articles of the alleged hundreds of millions of dollars that they're worth, we don't know how much of that is liquid assets. We don't know how much of that is cash on hand. We don't know any of that information, right? And sometimes they pump up certain things to make you believe, a fairy tale. But I also think J.Lo's a little bit delulu. She's a little bit delulu. And I think she's always held a torch for Ben Affleck all these years, all these decades. And I think that was her dream man. And I think it crushed her when he decided to dump her and they were supposed to get married. And I don't think she let that go. And I don't think she put her all into the relationships after that. And then they magically get back together, finally, right? Because she probably was manifesting all this. She was probably hoping and praying that this would happen and that this would be legit for real. But it felt like this go-around that Ben Affleck was checked out. That he was not trying to do all the paparazzi mess. He was not trying to do all the cutesy coupley stuff like they did when they were younger 20 years ago and all this and all of that. He wasn't feeling it. He wasn't featuring it. And it felt like it was aging him 20 years just to be with her. And so you could even just tell how disinterested he was, how rude he was and everything else. This should have been nothing more than an entanglement. Because J.Lo has said in plenty of interviews that there's a particular ex that she still entangles with. And I'm inclined to believe that that ex was Ben Affleck. But that doesn't mean that y'all are marriage material and that y'all should be married to each other, especially how Ben Affleck did his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner. Even though there's some karma on that part as well, because Jennifer Garner, she played her ex that she was involved with. There was a little bit of overlap there. But none of the less, I think J.Lo never put her all into relationships because of Ben Affleck, right? And I do agree with the first husband that she probably was seeking fame and fortune. She was looking at all these famous dudes that were trying to get at her, all these A-list dudes that were trying to get at her, and felt as though, you know what, I don't need you. I do not need you. And it was interesting, he was saying he was willing to stay. Obviously, he was willing to stay because J.Lo's star was on the rise. J.Lo's star was on the rise. She's about to become a multimillionaire. But the biggest actual person, the person who actually needs to be cussing J.Lo out is not any of her exes. Mariah Carey is the one that needs to be cussing her out because it was, basically Mariah Carey's whole aesthetic was stolen by J.Lo. And they even went as far as to take Mariah's management with Benny Medina and get J.Lo into all of those same circles and performances and collaborations that Mariah Carey normally does, right? And then J.Lo, already had the acting and everything else under her belt, so then she could parlay that with the music. We know J.Lo's not a great singer. We know she can't sing that well. But that's really who should have the most smoke for J.Lo is Mariah Carey and the people who decided to ditch Mariah Carey to basically repackage a version of Mariah Carey without the vocals. No. But until J.Lo loves herself, until J.Lo is going to put her all into an actual relationship and everything else, it's just best for her to be single. It is no point at this point getting married for a 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th time to somebody and have to go through a couple of years from now another divorce and trying to split up assets and trying to split up money and all this other foolery. No. You're almost 60 years old. At this point, you should be able to just either have the people you're going to be entangled with and keep it moving, right? Because obviously marriage is not your strong suit. Being engaged to all these people is not your strong suit. Long-lasting relationships is not your strong suit. And I felt it was always a big part because you were still holding a torch for Ben Affleck. But also I feel as though there is something going on with you as well to where you don't want to give your all into some of these people, right? So nonetheless, you quickly move on to all these other people thinking that next one is going to be the one forever and it's going to bring you all this happiness, and it blows up. It ends up in smoke. It ends up in flames. No. So there's that. That's it. That's all. Es todos, es final, es finito. It's the end of the road. It's the end of the line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post a content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.